kind of differences when it's when you're translating? I know that you'll be talking about, you know, the technology into the understanding of the user, but do you work in all these different languages, or what are the main languages that you work with at this stage?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's all about semantics. Even data is all about semantics, you could argue. And that's why I know it is difficult, because semantics are really difficult. I'm not sure, Tamara, if you refer to, let's say, commercial strategy, or you refer to product strategy, because I could give you the view on both.
If you could give us both, that would be very interesting.
Okay. So I'll start with the product of, because that's the given. It's one of the things, you know, when I was at the university, everybody was saying, oh, you're going to be replaced. It's like radiology now, yeah? You're going to replace translations, translators are going to be replaced by internet, because you had Google Translate, it was getting better. No, good translators still use nomenclatures, AI, everything, but they have become editors. Like technology is the co-pilot. So all this very, very annoying work that I remember we had to do in the library, like we had to build the nomenclatures, let's say for the law sector by hand. That's what AI and data-driven solutions are helping us with, but still, something that's very sterile, you can still translate. You can translate very well, or when you go out to a trip and you want to ask for a coffee. But when it comes pharma and clinical, what people don't know is that there are standards to do that correctly. Mm-hmm. So you require specialists. They're not called translators anymore. They're called content experts, yeah? And that's not only from a linguistic perspective. It's also from a meaning perspective. Because, for instance, let's take the example of this system checker that was going to launch, that launched actually in Tanzania. They were from Germany, yeah? If you hear somebody that explains a symptom, right? And they said, I am possessed by the devil. Yes. In Europe, probably they will think you're a bit, you know, you will need, you know, psychiatry, you know, some kind of help, mental health. And I'm not saying that as a joke. I think it's a serious, you know, I do take mental health very seriously. But this is the way, in some countries in Africa, they would explain some diseases. Because the education that we have, and they had to translate it in that way, because you cannot use the same prompts or trends, because the reality is the following, and that's what people don't understand.